state your name and your position here at Wayside Christian Mission?
My name is Ronnie Gainey, and I'm the Executive Assistant and Volunteer Coordinator here at Wayside.
What does your organization do, and who do you primarily help?
Well, we're known as one of the larger homeless shelters in the Louisville metro area. We're helping upwards of 600 men, women, and children in evening with food, shelter, clothing, and job skills training.
What services do you provide?
Well, we do provide food, shelter, clothing, job skills training. We also offer a Recovery Dynamics program, which is a drug and alcohol recovery program. We also offer a work therapy program, which helps folks that have experienced lapse of employment. When they come to us, what they will do generally is work with us through Wayside to use us as a resume builder. So when they're looking for jobs outside, they'll have something to actually show.
What's the most difficult part of your job?
The most difficult part of our job is generally on a daily basis, it comes down to making sure that we have adequate donations for everyone, making sure that we have volunteers that are in place to help us with the different programs that we have going on, and just kind of staying ahead of the general need itself. We want to make sure that we can provide the best opportunities for the clients that we serve. So on that, it's a changing game every day. So we have to stay on our toes.
What do you feel is the least understood thing about the people you serve about your organization?
Well, I believe that there are a lot of stereotypes about homelessness. Generally, people think of homeless folks as being unclean, or shifty, or lazy, or criminal, or drug addicts. Now, really, I say that as far as homelessness is concerned, there are as many reasons for homelessness as there are homeless people. Everyone has their own story. Drugs and alcohol might be a part of that. Criminal behavior might be a part of that. But at the same time, not everyone comes to us in that general state. And what we're trying to do is basically give them a hand up to get them back on their feet and get them back out into society so they can be productive members. It's the misconception about homelessness and homeless people that generally kind of keeps people from getting involved. And the more that we kind of do away with the ignorance through education and promotion like this, I think the more people would be apt to help, especially, because these are the less fortunate folks in our society. The more that we can do away with that ignorance, the more people will be apt to help. So,
what do you think might help people better understand this?
Things like this, general information. We do a lot of speaking engagements. Wayside Christian Mission goes out to different schools, colleges. We hold seminars. We invite our volunteers in to work with us. So through education, I think through actually being involved, it will lighten the load. It'll do away with that ignorance I was talking about.
Why do you think this particular injustice continues to happen in our world?
Well, we're going to have to fall back to ignorance again. Another thing is, funding. Injustices continue to happen because we're not allocating funds to the right areas. This one is particularly important, along with the other social services in our areas. Really what it comes down to is just getting people to understand that, the situation continues to grow. We see more and more people every year. The fact that we are seeing these people means that we need more resources to be able to utilize to help them. So there needs to be more programs in place. There need to be more funds allocated to these programs instead of federal funding being cut away. Wayside Christian Mission, we we operate on less than 7% of any kind of federal or state grant. So what that means is our community is actually taking a very, very serious part in what we do here. So we've done a lot to build that. We've also been around since 1957, so we're well established in the area. Folks know us and trust us, so they're more apt to volunteer their time and their money to help us do this. So I would think federal funding, and then, you know, just kind of doing away with the ignorance behind homelessness in and of itself.
Well, what are some factors that contribute to this happening?
People turning the other way, honestly. Not wanting to engage with the less fortunate in the city. You see it all the time. You know, someone will be out on the sidewalk, you know, maybe asking for money or something like that, and most people will just kind of keep looking ahead instead of stopping to actually find out what the situation is. You know, I wouldn't advocate for that being, you know, on every single level, but through Wayside Christian Mission and other organizations, you have the opportunity to have a real discourse with our clients, you know, to find out what the situations are, what everyone's story is. Taking the time to really get to know the people that are here will do away with those stereotypes.
Why do you feel, or who do you feel has the power to change the situation?
Our community, our government, our volunteers are really at the forefront of this. I believe that, you know, when folks come in and actually donate their time to us and start working with our groups, they become more proactive. We start to see them taking this and running with it in their own directions. What I like to say is that your imagination is your only limitation as far as volunteering is concerned. So we start to see, after people get involved maybe in the soup kitchen, they'll come back and they'll want to get involved in a different area, or they'll start developing programs here at Wayside, which is something that we love. We're very fortunate to have been able to partner with a lot of the universities in the city, and they've come in and actually developed programs that are helping our families right now. One of which is called the U of L Resilient Families Program. The psychology department came to us, you know, had addressed an issue that we have quite a bit, which is our families that have been separated for one reason or another. You know, parents and children have been separated. You know, either they've been jailed or, you know, just kind of been separated. And when the families get back together, generally you'll find that there are a lot of behavioral issues on either side. Maybe the parent hasn't been a parent for a while. The children have, you know, certain behavioral issues that they need to address. So U of L Psychology Department came up with a curriculum for both the parents and the children to make that transition of getting back together a lot easier, and to kind of address the issues of anger, sadness, abandonment, and things like that. And so the parent and the child can have a healthy discourse. So that's just one way that you kind of see, you know, volunteerism just taking off and blooming on its own. So it's really important, I think, when our volunteers get involved, to tell them that we have all of these different avenues that they can be involved in, and hopefully they'll take that upon themselves and be more proactive members in our community as well.
So again, direct action occurs on the level of individual relationships and is usually aimed at to meet immediate need. And social action occurs on the level of social structures and it attempts to change behavior of society and its institutions to promote justice. To create like a project plan for direct action and one for social action.
Okay.
So for direct action, it just that was like volunteering.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, that would be the most directive action.
Yeah.
You know, is just to give you maybe some ideas as far as your social action is concerned. You know, getting other members of the community together to possibly, you know, talk to and counsel people that are here in the city. You know, the voices of our volunteers have carried us a long way. You know, we had a situation when we were trying to acquire this hotel that basically needed social action. We had to gather all of the social services in our area to actually define where a homeless shelter could be located in the city because there was nothing on the law books. So we got together with the Planning and Zoning Commission, we got together with all of the different social services in the area, we actually wrote that into law. So that is a, you know, that is a social change, you know, that actually affected the whole city because we've been here for 5 years now. When the city ultimately really didn't want us to be here. This was supposed to be a parking lot for JCC. Now, when you take a look at, you know, which is more important, parking your car or taking care of men, women, and children, making sure that they have a place to sleep, it seems like the choice is obvious, right? The city didn't think so at the beginning. But now, through the networking that we've done and the relationships that we've built, you know, we're kind of a model of what homeless shelters can be. So, kind of getting that word out and getting other people involved in that, you know, and taking it to different levels of government, you know, possibly talking about funding, things like that. Will all help. I don't know how involved you really want to get with that, but you know, the voices of volunteers can be very powerful.